Okay guys, back at it again. Born for this, it's Wang, Zane, the black Japanese guy, you already know it. So Fanda guys, we're doing something special, something different, something we're supposed to have done it ages ago, but because of time and test, you know. So Fanda, this nigga lab, it's something special for the internet kids, hosted by Hype Magazine. You know when it's Hype Magazine, it's already hype. You know how it does. And then it's gonna be Riky, Frank Casino, and there's a homie launching a single today. So, what's the time? Don't even know what the time is, but we know we're about to kill it, we're about to do this shit. So, that's how we invade. Let's just do this. It's my entire, it's just my game, and then Dave's born for this. Come on!
First guest that I'm going to introduce is Riky, sitting right beside me. I didn't really have a formal introduction for him, so I'm just going to say that, you know, there isn't really a perfect intro I can give. The next guest is Frank Casino. It's a hip-hop giant and undoubtedly one of the most watched in SA hip-hop culture. My next guest is Mizim Charlie, former hype editor and hip-hop producer. My next guest is Nesiba Marokala, 5FM music compiler and a man that is directly exposed to the system of radio airplay. My final guest is another hype former editor and founder of Breakfast with Dinner, Fred Kayembe. Of course, over some years played a vital role in building up the hype brand and continues today to contribute to culture through his Breakfast with Dinner entity, which you probably already are aware of, I hope.
Yo, thank you for everybody who came through. Everyone in here can hear me without the mic, right? Yeah. I think sort of two things, because when you are dealing with topics like these, I think it's important not to engage in it to offend, you know. I think the whole purpose of this is to learn and to figure out what is actually going on, because I think everyone is really trying to figure out what is going on. And me personally,
In my confession, I'm sorry about Michael.
Can we turn up the mic also? Yeah, can the mic should pick up for me. But yeah, so with a topic like this, I thought it was it's a right time to have these conversations while the internet and while so many artists, majority of artists that you hear about now, you're gonna hear about through your phones, I think, in my opinion. And I think it's very important for us to have a conversation. I can't concentrate with that. And I think it's very important for us to know the relationship that artists are meant to have with the internet and also have with radio, or how it was and what it's going to become in the future. That's basically what I'm here to figure out. I'm not here to lecture. I'm not here to to give anybody advice, tips on your career going forward. I'm just here to speak on my experience and try to figure out from these guys, what their perspective is, and try to figure out from you guys. I'm sure there are a lot of artists here, and try to figure out from you guys what your perspective is on what is happening to the game. Do you feel like you're in it? Do you feel like you're out of it? If you feel like you're in it, what has put you in it? If you feel like you're out of it, what is keeping you out of it? And how can we get together and find solutions for what's happening?
Right here. Do you guys get me outside? For me, I'm here to find solutions as well. I want to hear everyone's perspective. I have my own experience as well, which I'm going to share with everyone here today. on the radio and the internet. So which means pretty much that simple. It's more to the point.
Z. Well, thank you very much for the great intro. And hi everybody. On my side, when I heard the topic, radio or internet killed the radio star, I sort of saw it the other way around. It sort of flips because also a conversation that we just had with Ruby earlier on around the interrelationship between radio and the internet. I think that a lot of artists now start at the internet because that's a platform with no central governance. There's no gatekeeper. Whereas the platform, which is radio, has got gatekeepers and has got a central governance to it. Now you start off on the internet, and radio looks at, before you submit your demo, the radio will look at what you're doing on the internet. So the two sort of feed into each other. So you get a couple of views on the internet. Radio then takes you seriously. What then happens is that you're on radio and people check for you. And there's a need for people to retain information and retain this music. Through radio, back in the day we used to tape. We used to find music on radio and actually sit there and press record and then have the music to capture it. Now you listen to a song and the first thing you do is go online, go onto these platforms so that you can keep the music on your own device. So it's interrelated. So what happens is that because you're on radio, now your internet visibility increases, but you are on radio in the first place because you have that internet visibility. So I don't think that either one of them can or have killed each other. I really think that artists are starting to understand how the two are interrelated. And for me it also comes from the need for people to actually retain music. And the internet is the best place for you to find music so you can keep it to yourself.
Yeah, so firstly I'd like to reiterate what Ricky had said in the beginning, about us being here to share information and find solutions. It's not, we're not here to offend. And when I saw the topic, I thought about this myself a lot, and we're in a transitional period in general as far as content is concerned. In the world, everyone is trying to figure, for the first time in a long time, there are very few rules. You know what I mean? Everything used to be very procedure based. There used to be a structure. You had to go through the motions, and I think what the internet has done, in a way, at least that's how I think about it, it's kind of democratized that process, and to some extent given the power back to the people, right? And I'm, personally, I'm a huge fan of that, because I feel like sometimes, bureaucracy and politics and that sort of thing kind of messes up the groove and the vibe in terms of the content that is released out there. Who's to say that there's a body that has been elected to decide what all of us want to listen to. You know what I mean? So on that aspect, I love the internet for what it's been able to do in terms of giving the power back to the people. But then that also comes with a lot of challenges, because, for example, being able to monetize content, which, as Zipho said, the radio is a business, so they built their foundation as a business would. So there's structures set up for artists to be able to get paid for instance, of royalties, because your music has been played on the radio or on television or whatever. So it's a really transitional period, and that's why these conversations are important. And those are my thoughts to start with.